Hey friends, we're going to do something super cool in this video. We're going to read Genesis 1:1 in both Hebrew and Greek from the Greek Septuagint. Now, if you don't know Hebrew and Greek, that's okay. I think you'll get some value out of this video, and it'll be fun for you to look at how the biblical languages work and what the original text looked like. And if you do know Hebrew and or Greek, I think you'll also get some value out of this video in stretching your muscles and just reviewing the biblical text as we read together. So I've got the text here on my iPad, and I've got the Hebrew on top, the Greek on the bottom. Let's dive into it, and let's read some Hebrew and Greek. So first, I'm going to start with the Hebrew. And of course, Hebrew moves from right to left. So Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz. So it begins here with this first prepositional phrase. Notice that we've got the beit preposition right here on the front, and then we got our first word, reshit. So in, that's the beit here at the very beginning, and then reshit, which is beginning, in the beginning. You can forgive my terrible handwriting here. Then we come to our verb, bara. This is our verb. This is going to be a call, perfect, third masculine singular. Notice that we've got no endings, no suffirmatives, and we've got nothing on the front to tell us that this is imperfect, so it's a classic call perfect 3ms. Notice one slight difference from what you might see if you had a normal verb is that this is a third aleph, which means that our second radical, our second vowel under the resh here lengthens from the patak to the kametz. Now here we have our verb, he created, and then we get our subject. Typically you get the verb first in Hebrew, you get the verb first, and then the subject. So here's our subject, Elohim. So God created. So far we've got, in the beginning, God created. Now, depending on how you understand the construction of this verse with the verses after it, along with the combination of how this word, bereshith, works in combination with our verb, bara, there's a couple ways that you could take and understand how this phrase is functioning. So a couple other translations, I got them written down here, could be in the beginning when God created, or you could also do when God began to create, or the standard kind of traditional, the one that I memorized as a kid, in the beginning God created. So there's a couple of different options. Some might be better than others, but all are viable and valid or possible within the grammar that we have here. So there is some flexibility in how we might translate that. Now, as we move through the rest of the passage, you have et hashamayim. Now this little particle, this little word particle that we got going on here, this is your definite direct object marker. This guy right here. And in translation, we're not going to translate him. He's just there to tell you the next word, the word that follows eight, this guy right here, or this gal right here, this one right here, that is going to be your direct object, the thing that's receiving the action of the verb. So we have hashamayim, that is going to be your direct object. And as we'll see in a moment there, we have two direct objects. So this is going to be direct object number 1. So this is 8 is just telling you next word is your direct object. Then we get the actual direct object, hashamayim. Here you've got your word shamayim, and on top of it and attached to it is your definite article, the ha plus the dagesh here. So the heavens. So what did God create? He created the heavens. But we're not done yet. Notice we move on to ve'et haaretz. So now we've got this vav conjunction here, which is our word and. It's combining and grouping two sames. Et hashamayim, direct object number 1, ve'et haaretz, direct object number 2. So again, we've got our definite direct object marker. It's just there to tell us the next words are direct object. And here is our direct object number 2, haaretz. Here also we have the definite article, ha, and we don't have the dagesh because the aleph rejects the dagesh because it's being a guttural. So it doesn't have it. It just lengthens our vowel underneath our hey from the patak to the kametz, like we had on the first direct object, hashamayim, there with the patak, and now here we have the kametz, compensatory lengthening, compensating for the fact that we don't have the dagesh because of the guttural aleph. Haaretz. So this is our second direct object, and the earth and the land might even be better. So that's your first word, your first sentence, your first verse in the Hebrew Bible of Genesis 1:1. Bereshith bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, or the heavens and the land. And just like we said, there's a couple different ways you could take that Bereshith at the beginning. Now, we just looked at the Hebrew, and that was fun, but let's get some double fun. Daily double here on our biblical languages fun. Let's see if we can read the Septuagint translation of Genesis 1:1 in Greek. So here we have en arche epoiesin hatheas tan uranan kai tain gain. So it's very similar. Not a whole lot different in terms of the verbiage here. Not much different. Pretty similar to what we have in the Hebrew. So it begins with our prepositional phrase, NRK. We have our verb, epoiesin here, as we'll see in just a moment. This is going to be an aorist active indicative, third person singular from poieo. So you notice that we've got our epsilon on the front, augment. We've got our sigma form marker. And then we have our B sort of personal endings. And then we just have a lengthening of that eta as part of our stem. When the aorist, when we add on that sigma form marker to our stem of a contract verb, it lengthens to the eta, so epoiesin. So there's our verb. Then we're looking for our subject, something in the nominative case, in which case we get something singular in the nominative case. That is theos, right there. That's our subject. So in the beginning, so let's write this down. In the beginning, hopefully I can spell today, God created. Terrible handwriting, but still the Lord's words. So NRK, there's in the beginning as well. And then here we have the exact same thing, similar, it's just translating the Hebrew. So God created. What did he create? We have two nouns in the accusative case. Tan uranan, this is our direct object number 1, bound by the chi, connecting two sames. And we've got direct object number 2 here. God created heaven, or the heaven, and the earth. Or we could even do land too. Gay can also be land. So here we've got very literalistic, very straightforward, very beautiful translation of the Hebrew. Both of these passages, same passage in both of these languages, very beautiful. And so you've got kind of a brief breakdown of both these passages in both Hebrew and Greek. I hope that's helpful. Hope that's interesting to you. Let me know if you like these types of videos, if you like getting kind of a deep dive or just a reading through of both the Hebrew and or the Greek. And if you'd like to see more videos like that. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks for listening and putting up with me and my terrible handwriting. And I'll see you next time, and may the Lord richly bless you.